So this video is going to be an anti-desk stretch club focusing on the neck and shoulders in particular. So if you've been working from home or do just spend a lot of time sitting down throughout the day, this is hopefully one for you. In terms of equipment, all we're going to need, if you really want, is some blocks to find a seated position on, or you can actually do quite a lot of this practice standing up, as well as your yoga mat. So yeah, we will be focusing on the neck and the shoulders, particularly our joint movement, just bringing some of that back and looking at some muscle activation. So I'll see you at the top of our mat, standing up. Start standing up and just take a moment to shake the body out, just get some nervous energy out, help stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, so rest and recover before we start moving. So just standing, feet about hip distance apart, just nice and still, nice and grounded through the toes, the balls of the feet and the heels, and just pick one hand to choose the movement to start at. So I'm going to choose my right. I'm just going to start by wiggling the fingers and start to bring that movement up to shake, shaking into the wrist, into the forearm, into the elbow, up to the shoulder. And now try transfer that shaking across towards the left side. Down the left arm, elbow, wrist, fingers. Both arms moving, chest shaking. Now bring it down to your hips. Bring it down to one leg, transfer over to the other. Just start shaking everything about. Maybe even moving into the neck. Now you can take it low to the floor, you can take it high up, you can lean back. Whatever feels good, just a chance to get the whole body moving if we've been sitting down for a while. And now to reverse, so stop the movement in the legs, lose the energy from one hand, eventually over to the other. There we go. So it is quite excitatory, so just going to take a couple of deep breaths. So nice deep inhale, and I want you to exhale nice and slow out of your mouth. Okay, we're going to do it a couple more times. Nice slow inhale. Exhaling out of the mouth. Let's just do it 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhale. Last one. And exhale. Lovely. So, now I'm going to come down onto our mats. I'm going to take a block and find myself in a kneeling position, but you can also sit cross-legged as you do this. If this feels like too uncomfortable, you can just stand whilst we do some of these movements, and I'll cue you to come down to the ground when we need to. So, starting in this position, just making sure shoulders are rolled down the body. We're not too far forwards into extension of the spine or flexion. We're in a nice neutral position. So ears over shoulders over hips. So just some simple neck movements to start with, hands resting on your lap. We're going to start by looking forwards and then gently turning the head towards the right. Back through to center and then over to the left. So just going like this a couple of times. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too stressful. We're just trying to get simple movements back to our neck. Cool, just one more time each way. The next time you come back through center, this time we're going to look up. Again, go to where there's no pain and then down. Absolutely no point in pushing the neck. In this particular joint in the body, we want stability. And it's very easy to overdo it as well. Cool, we'll just go one more time each direction. And then come back through center. Now this time we're taking right ear towards the right shoulder, but they won't touch. Back through center, left ear, left shoulder. Again, they won't touch. Just trying to see and feel that increased sort of stretch sensation down the left side and the right side. Remember to keep your breath nice and calm, nice and regulated as you do these movements as well. Cool, so one more time each side. Lovely, and then coming all the way back to center. So before we come into some more specific joint work, we're going to have a look at strengthening our neck flexors, in particular the deep ones. So Again, sometimes the reason why we have like neck pain is because these muscles are underactive and they're weak. So just a simple way to just start strengthening them, and even just as far as activating them, what we can do, sitting down, head is in neutral. You're going to try to stick your head as far forwards as you can, just the head, don't move from the shoulders. And then draw it all the way back, so you're almost making a double chin. And again, forwards, and then backwards. A couple times like this, forwards, backwards, last round, 1, and drawing back, 2. So yeah, that's something that you can just practice at your desk quite easily, and just a little reminder to activate those strengthening deep flexor muscles. Cool. So taking your hands out towards the side, palms facing forwards, roll those shoulders back and down. Some more specific articulations for the neck. So try not to move from the shoulders, you're just going to drop your chin down to your chest. And now look across towards the right hand. Now taking your right ear to your right shoulder, ever so slightly shifting your eyes and looking forwards. Just breathing here because it can be quite intense going down the left side of the body. And then nice and slow, go as deep as you would like. You're going to slowly circle the head behind you so you eventually end up with left ear, left shoulder. Again, just breathing here. Now look down at the left hand before taking the chin back to the chest and gazing all the way forwards. Cool, we're going to do it one more time, moving in the opposite direction. So chin goes down first. Remember the breath is controlled. Looking to the left hand. And now left ear to left shoulder again, gaze comes forwards. Good, slow circle behind, take right ear to right shoulder again, gently looking forwards. Now looking down at the right hand. Chin comes back to the chest. Breathing, looking up, release, just have a little shake through those hands. Lovely. So we're now going to come into some flossing. Flossing is where we work with the nerves in the body, and in particular we're going to look at the meridian nerve. So this one can get quite compressed. It sits in our cervical spine, and the nerve travels all the way down the shoulder, the bicep, forearm into our middle finger and our ring finger. So when it gets compressed, this sort of like sensation of tightness or like cramping or whatever it is can be felt like anywhere around here. So we're just going to try help loosen it up a little bit. So just start by just swimming the shoulders back. It's nice and calm. Maybe get some rotation into the thoracic spine as well. And now swim them forwards, just gently loosen it up. Cool. And then from here, find stillness, return to a neutral spine. You're going to take your right hand straight out in front of you and lift it up over your head. Allow the shoulder to travel up with you. Now turn your fingertips away from you. You're going to allow this hand to lower down so the wrist, the elbow and the shoulder are all in one nice long line. So already you might be feeling some kind of like buzzing sensation. I right now feel it in my bicep. It might be different for you. You could feel it in the forearm, maybe even into the fingers. But it's like sometimes like a buzzing, a tingling, a heated sensation, pins and needles, whatever it is. So I'm just going to start wriggling into the fingers, just encouraging that nerve to move, to glide over the fascia. And from here, now turn the hand up. Good, so this is a little bit weird. You're going to take your head, tilt it towards the right shoulder, and as you do, tilt the hand down. And then as you bring the head up, you bring the hand up and you tilt towards the left side, so both of them. So you move the two at the same time simultaneously, sort of encouraging this gliding a little bit more, nice and slow. If it does get painful, obviously don't push past it, just see where you can find movement without pain. Nice. Okay, one more time. Then come all the way back to center, hand up, head in, normal. Now drop the hand down and turn your fingertips towards you. Palm is nice and flat. Taking your left ear towards your left shoulder, remember they won't touch, and you're just going to create small circles with that right hand. Now that feels so weird. I can feel again that buzzing, this sort of like radiation of movement going up my arm. Change direction of the circle. And then as the hand relaxes, bring the head up back to natural or neutral. You're going to just place your right hand on your sacrum, just holding it there. Take your left hand behind your head and slowly encourage your chin to your chest. You're not forcing it down, it's just there as a reminder. But now that we've flossed the nerves, we're just trying to create space between the vertebrae, just to allow some form of decompression or space to be created. Release, coming all the way up, right, cool. So I'll do it all on the left side, so left hand straight up, reach it up over your head, fingertips, turn them away, drop down so it's level with the shoulder, and start again to wriggle through the fingers. This side could feel the same, it could feel totally different. Cool, and then again turn the hand up, so as the fingertips go down, take left ear, left shoulder, then head, fingers move up over towards the right. Okay, just continue like this, a couple of times. As always, remember your breathing. Cool, we're going to go one more time, each way. And bring everything back to neutral. This time take the left hand down by your side, turn the fingertips towards you. Right ear, right shoulder, just create those little circular movements, one direction to start with. Notice where you feel the sensation in your body. Now change direction. Good. Then release the left hand, head back up to neutral. Left hand, just place it on your sacrum, right hand to the back of your head. Slowly encourage your chin to your chest. Try to move more with the neck rather than the pressure from the hand. Breathing here, creating that space. And then slowly releasing, coming all the way back up. Just shake through the wrists, flick out through the fingers, whatever it is. Cool. So from here, you're going to come down into a tabletop position if you're standing, if you are kneeling, whatever it is. And bring ourselves forwards into tabletop. And maybe just pad out the feet if you were kneeling. Might be quite nice to do anyways. Cool. So we're going to tuck those toes. And we're just going to start to move through some scapular push-ups. So scapula is this bit over here that covers the shoulder blade, and we need it to move well and glide over the rib cage. So what you're going to do, brace through the core, push through the hands, keeping the arms straight. You're going to slowly let your chest lower towards the ground and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then push through the palms, allow those shoulder blades to widen. That's all we're going to do, nice and small, controlled movements, pushing down, pushing up. Just gaining that awareness, gaining that control over the scapula. Super important that this part of the body moves well for our shoulder joint health. Again, remember the breathing, keeping it controlled. Just going to do this one more time each way. And then release, come back down, sitting on your heels for a second. Or maybe you want to stay more upright, whatever feels best for you. I'm going to stay upright. I'm going to come into some more specific joint work for the shoulders. So you're going to start by taking your right hand straight out in front of you. And just take your left hand to hold the left rib cage, or the right rib cage, sorry. The reason why the hand is there, it just acts as a reminder to not sort of twist and turn, because we just want to work into the right shoulder. So with the hand extended in front of you, remember movement comes from the shoulder. We're going to first of all try to draw the shoulder up towards our ear, into elevation, and then draw it back from neutral, then down into depression. So again, drawing up, elevation, down, depression. Just going one more time each way. Remember the breath. And then coming back to neutral. Now this time we're going to come forwards into protraction and retraction, very similar to what we just did in our scapular push-up. So remember, we're not moving from the hand, we're moving from the shoulder. So again, come forwards to protraction, through neutral, draw back, retraction. Just getting used to this nice, smooth, gliding movement, control over the shoulder joint. Just going to go one more time each way. Then back to neutral, release, shake that hand out. Cool. So left side. Taking right hand to hold the left ribs, release the left hand out in front of you. So elevation, depression first of all, drawing up, and then passing through neutral, drawing down. Try to keep the breathing controlled, keep it relaxed. And this hand is pretty still, it's not really moving. One more time each way. Good. Back through neutral, protraction, retraction, moving forwards. Drawing back through neutral into retraction. Again, try not to, as you move back or forwards, twist from the spine. Let's go one more time each way. And then release and relax, and you're going to bring yourself back into this tabletop position. Lovely. So from here, pressing down into the left hand, as well as the knees, as well as those toes. So finding stability throughout the body, particularly the core and the pelvis. And you're going to take your right hand behind your head, elbow facing the ground. So coming into a little bit of rotation for the thoracic spine. So take an inhale. Exhale, rotate towards the right hand side. And slowly back through. Again, inhale to open. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, rotate and open. Exhaling back down. I'm going to do this 6 times in total. So 2 more. Again, try to keep the core engaged. Keep the pelvis stable. Last one. Inhale, open. Push through the left hand. Exhale, coming down. Release. We'll swap sides over. So pushing through that right hand. Left hand goes behind the head. Again, inhale. Open. Exhaling down. Inhale to rotate. Exhaling down. Inhaling. Exhaling down. Try to keep balance between the feet. 2 more. Keep pushing through the right hand. Using the stability of the shoulder. Last one. And releasing. Cool. So back into our tabletop position. Before we come down into puppy pose, just going to activate or stimulate the core a little bit more. So shoulders are directly over those wrists. You're going to tuck your toes, brace through the core. So breathe in and brace as if you're pushing back out onto something. And all we're going to do is lift the knees about 1 inch off the ground and maybe hold here for about 15 to 20 seconds. So when you're ready, push through your hands, lift the knees and engage. Breathing here, controlling with the glutes, with the toes, with the quads, with the hands, with the shoulders, with the core, everything switched on. Keeping that breathing nice and controlled. Couple more seconds here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and in 1, let the knees come down. Sit back onto the heels for a second and just roll through those wrists. So that's quite a nice pose to do. It's not only like awakening for the core, but it's also developing some strength into the shoulders as well as those wrists, because if you're typing all day, I can imagine the wrists are feeling pretty fatigued. So, coming into puppy pose, back to your tabletop position, tuck the toes, and you're just going to walk those hands out in front of you. Now I want you to really push through the hands because we want stability for the shoulders, and then slowly encourage the chest to lower towards the ground, keeping your bum nice and high in the air and breathing. Doesn't matter how low down we get, doesn't matter if the chin or the forehead touches the mat or if we keep it floating. Just hang out here for a second and then we're going to do some pulsing movements. Cool. So next inhale, I want you to start to lift the chest away from the ground, lifting up through the forearm, almost coming up to our starting position. And then exhale, sinking back down. As low as you want to go. And again, inhale to lift. Exhale, lowering down. Couple more times like this. So So we're just nice and slowly coming more into extension for the thoracic spine and the shoulders. Good, we're going to go for 2 more. It's also teaching us breath control. Remember to still really push down into the hands last time. And this time we're going to stay and hold here. Allow the head to go wherever. Try to really push down into the fingertips to feel a little bit more activation towards the serratus anterior and the lats and the scap. Good, one more breath here. Lovely. Now, looking forwards towards the hands, lift up a little bit. We're going to walk the hands over towards the right hand side. Keep those palms out. If you want it a little bit more intense, what you're going to do is take the left hand on top of the right. See how you feel, but again, start to slowly sink down. Breathing now, particularly towards the left side of the rib cage. If you want, feel free to take the left hand on top, but try to keep the bum nice and high into the air so we bring our spine more into extension. One more deep breath. Use the next inhale to lift and walk all the way over to the other side. Again, start with the hands parallel as you start to sink down, and if you would like, take the right hand on top. Breathing towards the right side, so to the right ribs. Good, one more breath here. Next inhale to lift, walk all the way back through to center and slide all the way back into your tabletop position. Now sinking back down onto the heels, again we can stay in this kneeling position like this or come more upright, whatever feels best. You're going to come into some movements for the tricep and quite a nice way to open up through the pecs, particularly if we've been sat like that all day. So roll those shoulders back and down, squeezing shoulder blades together. Brace through the core so we're not extending too much. You're going to interlace the hands behind your back. Doesn't matter if they're joined like this or the base of the wrists are joined together. But again, roll them back and down. Now you're going to start to lift the hands away from your butt. As far away as you can go. Keep squeezing through the shoulder blades, looking forwards. And already that's quite a nice stretch or opening towards the pecs. If you want to take it a little bit further, what you can start to do, keep the upper arm where it is. You're just going to draw the hands towards the sacrum again, bending at the elbows, and then extend and lift away. So drawing in and lifting away. It's just quite nice to, again, activate through the tricep. Just feel it switch on, feel it work, feel yourself breathe. One more time. Good. Lower the hand back down wherever we are, release, shake everything out. So coming into the final few movements, we're going to come down onto our bellies. It doesn't matter how you get there. And we're going to come into some pancake movements. So extend your right hand straight away from you, flat to the ground. Take your left hand directly under your left shoulder as a little bit of support. From here, you're going to draw your left heel towards your left butt cheek and slowly roll over towards the right hand side, pushing through the right hand and slowly turning to look towards the left. Now that left foot can land to the ground, as can the head. We just slowly find ourselves in the most comfortable and optimal position for us. Remember, the left hand is there as support. Keep trying to push through the right hand. We'll take one more breath here. And then slowly come all the way back through to center, and we'll swap those hands over. So, left hand extends away, right hand comes underneath the right shoulder. Bend the right leg, roll over towards the left side, determine what that bent leg does, what the head does, and remember to just breathe here. Putting weight into the right hand, nice and controlled, so the nervous system tells the brain that it's safe. Good, one more breath. And then again, slowly coming all the way back through to center. Before we change it up a little bit, take those hands into a pillow, chin to the hands, and just let your hips rock side to side. Lovely. So if that felt pretty chill and you wanted to intensify it a little bit more, we're going to do it one more time. So this time, as you extend the right hand away, feel free to stay here if that felt good. If you want it a little bit stronger, you bend the hand to create a cactus position or a 90-degree position. Lovely. So from here as well, try to roll the shoulder back. So you see how it's pointing towards the ground, try to roll it back so it's more into neutral. Bending again the left leg, roll over towards the right side. So again, same principle, take your time, slowly let the head come down, feel the weight of the left hand, and it will definitely be more stronger into the right pec. So again, remember the breath, try to keep the engagement, pressing the right hand to the floor. One more breath here. And then slowly roll back to your front. Let's swap those hands over, right hand underneath, left hand out to the side, taking again that cactus position if you would like. Bend the right leg, rolling over towards the left hand side. Take your time, let the head relax, whatever feels good. Keeping that breathing controlled, keeping it regulated. Cool. One more breath. And then slowly come all the way back to your front. Both hands by your side, pushing yourself back up to a tabletop and then into a kneeling position. So a little bit more for the neck because I really enjoy this stretch. Find a neutral position. Right hand, the top of the hand is going to go and place onto your sacrum, onto your low back. What you're going to do, roll the shoulder back and down so it's more again into that neutral position. Elbow is out to the side. Now what you want to find is contact or an increased pressure between pushing this hand against your back and squeezing that shoulder back and down. So the front of your shoulder, your front deltoid, is more active and switched on. Chin to the chest. Now slowly, slowly start to take left ear, left shoulder. Ooh. And as you do, you feel this really nice sort of stretch sensation moving down the right side of your neck. Keep that contact between the hand and the low back and maybe move the head around a little bit, whatever feels good. Remember the breathing. Good. And slowly bring the head all the way back to neutral, release the right hand, shake it out a little bit. Cool. So left side, again, top of the hand to place on the low back, contact there. Roll that shoulder back and down, but push, squeeze, front of the shoulder switched on. Chin to the chest, right ear, right shoulder. Breathing. Move the head around a little bit if you want. Whatever feels good, or just hold. Lovely. And slowly chin back to center, release that hand, shake it out. So final little bit, we're going to come down onto our backs. Hugging knees into the chest. Let yourself rock side to side for a second. So we're going to come into a spinal twist and have some movement into the arms. So bring our shoulders through some different ranges. So when you're ready, drop both knees down towards the right hand side. Again, adjust, modify this position, whatever feels good. You're going to start by having your right hand onto the knees. Left hand extends away from you nice and straight. Feel free to have the hands like floating off the ground, whatever's more comfortable. But what you're going to do is sweep the hand up and above your head. When it gets above the head, the palm will naturally rotate and face the ground as we roll over onto our right shoulder more and bring that left elbow down towards the knees. Then again we sweep up, over our head, coming back to our starting position, or maybe lowering the hand all the way down towards the bum. I'm just going to do this a couple of times. So what we're doing, we're bringing our shoulder through internal and external rotation ranges. Just again allowing the joint to get that well-needed lubrication so it stays moving well. Let's go one more time. Good. And slowly swap the knees over to the other side. Again, taking the left hand on, right hand extends out to the side. So we start the movement, sweep the hand up above the head, roll over, elbow to the knee. And then sweep back. Decide if you want to keep it at shoulder height or travel all the way back down. And as always, keeping that breathing regulated.
Do this movement one more time. Lovely. Then bring the knees all the way back through to centre. So holding on to the tops of the knees or underneath, just rock up and down 2 or 3 times. Using a bit of momentum to bring yourself all the way back to a kneeling position. And there we have it. I hope you enjoy the session and feel a little bit more loose and ready for the rest of your day. So if you have any comments, questions or suggestions for future videos, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.